Welcome to Achievement Guidebook. This is Stryker of Enyo, as always, and well, hopefully if there's somebody else out there that calls themselves Achievement Guidebook, then they owe me money, right? Is that how life works? No, probably not. But this is where we give a detailed look at the very easy and simple to obtain achievements and trophies in games. I give you a quick look at the amount of time it will take you to earn them all. I give you a level of difficulty, how many playthroughs are required, and then I cover the game's mechanics and give you a feeling of what to expect when you play the game. At the time of this video's release, Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter is on Xbox Game Pass, so it's free for you to download as long as you have a subscription to the service. On Achievement Guidebook, I sometimes walk you through every achievement, and sometimes I link to other sites or videos that will help you get your 100% completion. If someone else has already done a lot of hard work, I don't mind acknowledging that. I don't have to do everything on my own. I try to give you all the tools you need to get fast achievements/trophies. I know what you're thinking right now, and don't worry, it's obvious that the Red Woman is going to figure out a way to bring Walter White back at some point during the last season of Game of Thrones, so I wouldn't oh, that's not what you were thinking. Oh, you saw the video length. Don't worry, you don't need to watch this entire hour-long video. Maybe you're just curious about the game, or you want to know what it's going to take in order for you to get your achievements, and if they're easy enough for your tastes. That's okay. I will cover all the basic info that you need in the first 15 minutes of this video or so. Then, if you decide to stick around, I will walk you through each case and point out all the places where you can use the skip feature in order to avoid doing most of the mini games and puzzles, without missing any achievements or trophies. If you want to play through the game legit, that's great, but some just want relatively easy achievements and trophies without spending a lot of time, so my walkthrough later in the video will cater to those players. Timecodes are in the description if you want to jump to a certain section or a particular case. So, let's jump right into Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter. The Devil's Daughter? The Devil Daughter. No, it's The Devil's Daughter, idiot. Okay, let's start.
'Tis our home, Mr. Holmes.
Even if you've only been gaming for a little while, if you like the point-and-click style of adventure games, then you're probably familiar with the series of Sherlock Holmes games from developer Frogwares. When they first started coming to consoles, they were at a budget $20 US price, but now we have the fourth game asking for a full $60 US. There have been improvements over the years, but largely several things have stayed the same. Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter, is the latest offering with a few refinements, but most importantly, it's a much friendlier experience for achievement and trophy hunters. More on that in a couple of minutes. And now let's take a quick look at the quick look. I mean, that's what I call it. I mean, it's the quick look, so we're going to look at it quickly. Estimated difficulty is a 2 out of 10. There's going to be a level of interaction, like walking around environments, clicking on stuff, kind of like the other Frogwares games, but it's a little more involved than, let's say, a Telltale game like the Walking Dead series, but you're going to have a little bit more. But this difficulty does actually reflect the fact that we're going to be skipping a lot of stuff. Not that it would necessarily be a difficulty level of 3. I think it really does belong at a 2. So, time to complete. With my guide and whatnot, and using a text walkthrough, you're probably looking at about 9 hours as a good, honest length of time. That's about what I was able to do. I mean, I had a text walkthrough. I knew what to pick and in what order to do a lot of things, and I was just barely made at the 9-hour mark. But with my extra help of a video a little bit later on that'll identify ahead of time what kind of stuff you need to skip, you might be able to get it underneath 9 hours. I just don't know about how much. 15 hours, that's more or less about where you would be if you were playing on your own, 14 or 15. So just so you know that. But you only need a minimum playthrough of 1. There is a missable achievement, that's the Lawn Bowls Champion, so look that one up on your own if you don't want to have any kind of spoilers. And yeah, this game still does list at the full retail price of $60 US. Now, it often goes on sale. You can find it for anywhere from like 40 to 75% off. That's going to reflect $28 to maybe $18 US. But right now, it's on Xbox Game Pass. That's why I'm covering this game, is because it's completely free to download and play, as long as you're paying for the service, which is $10 a month US. So let's look into the tools that we are going to be using. As always, I'm looking at xboxachievements.com and playstationtrophies.org. xboxachievements.com, you're going to notice I'm going to be using some of the graphics from their site. I have altered them a little bit to be condensed a little bit smaller on a video screen, but it's their picture, it's their color, it's their layout, kind of in a sense. So all credit really goes to them. I actually use their site as kind of a way to guide me into starting a game for the first time, even though I'll add my own stuff to it. But I do want to give credit to anyone that's written anything on that site. Absolutely love them. PlayStation Trophies, absolutely the same. So we got our first text walkthrough. It's going to be the Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter walkthrough on trueachievements.com. This is a text walkthrough that highlights any objects you need to interact with, what items you need to pick up as evidence, what choices you need to make to perfect the character portraits, and how to link your assumptions into the correct deductions for that case. Plus, you will also have a link to a page with the video walkthroughs right on the same page. I will link all of these sites in the description, as well as linking each of the video walkthroughs directly to the original YouTube page instead of having to go through their site to see the exact same thing. The text walkthrough is very detailed and very well done. This is the one that I used. I absolutely love it. The link to the video walkthroughs is from Mist Lily on YouTube. It covers each of the cases in a separate video. Just be aware that I use the text walkthrough only, so I don't know how accurate the video walkthrough is in case there's something missing. So don't go blaming me if you watched them and there's something that was missing. I used the text walkthrough, but I still felt like they were done pretty well enough to recommend in the first place. Full credit goes to the gamers involved. Crow's Graveyard, he's the owner, and Danger Gaming, he's the walkthrough manager. There's another text walkthrough, Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter game walkthrough by GamePressure.com. Now, they actually have a disclaimer upon all the images on their site are not for reproduction, so I'm not going to zoom in too close to their site, but basically what you see is what you get. There's actually a lot more visualization here, a bit more step-by-step instructions. You're going to have multiple pages to click through, but this one is more for those that want to visualize each step and see ahead of time where things are. Like, for example, the text walkthrough will say something like, inspect the bucket that's on the floor, which is a good enough description for most people to find, but this walkthrough will actually show you a screenshot of where the bucket is, and it'll mark it even on a map sometimes for you. So for those that want a little extra information, go to the GamePressure.com. Then, of course, there is my walkthrough, and after we cover all the basics and what to expect in the game, I will start my own brief run-through of all achievements/trophies in what order you will see them, and what sequences are safe to skip without missing any achievements or trophies. So, what does the game play like? Like in previous Sherlock Holmes games, we have 5 main cases and an overarching plot that happens in the background, with Sherlock quick traveling to locations, performing interviews, collecting evidence and facts, and coming to a final conclusion. You have a journal that tracks everything and conveniently points to the next objective at all times. On a pure game level, Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter feels more like a collection of mini-games. Sometimes they blend together well, but many times they feel overdone. There are quick-timed events, stationary puzzles, larger room-based puzzles, targeting mini-games, balancing mini-games, and observation mini-games. There's also an emphasis on scripted action sequences. You can maybe kind of thank that to the, the Guy Ritchie movies, the new ones. Sometimes requiring you to follow a witness, a somewhat awkward stealth level, and a few other sequences that you need to be fast and react to. Some of the stationary mini-games are repeated, but thankfully not at the same frustrating rate as the cylinder puzzles of Crimes and Punishment, for example. The lockpick mini-game appears 4 or 5 times, and that's the most reoccurring puzzle in the game. There are no achievements that carry over from case to case, as some did in Crimes and Punishment. All the achievements are related to specific cases, most are story related, and they don't require you to collect anything. You don't even have to reach the true correct deduction in each case. Plus, you can unlock everything in one playthrough. That's right, you don't need to collect all the evidence and documents. You don't need to solve any puzzles or mini-games within a certain amount of moves or without failing. You're not required to assemble the correct profiles of each character the first time you meet them, and you don't need to come to the exact right or wrong moral decision at the end of each case, like you did in Crimes and Punishments. It's rather comforting to play the game the way you want. You can still condemn or absolve the right or wrong suspect by making the correct or incorrect deductions, but doing so has no bearing on unlocking any achievements. The game simply tells you if you missed any evidence, and then it tells you how your decision compares against other players worldwide that also completed the case, depending on the platform that you choose it on. I've heard that this feature isn't always there, and quite honestly, I didn't see it on Xbox. So, moving on. So, first up, let's talk about the difficulty. There are two difficulties. We're going to play on normal or keen detective, since difficulty has no bearing on achievements or trophies, and it will allow you to finish the game faster. The easy difficulty will allow you to avoid many, if not most, of the puzzles and action sequences in the game. The hard mode, Master Sleuth, is more challenging, and it reportedly contains additional sequences that you need to complete. So if you actually bought the game, I really do recommend trying the higher difficulty at least once to see some of this content that you supposedly missed before. If you select normal difficulty, then you can also choose to skip most of the mini games and puzzles. So, the big question, skipping puzzles, can I do it? All achievement/trophy walkthroughs that I saw specifically state that they recommend you do not skip anything, or else you run the risk of missing an achievement, and then you will need to retry the entire case. But I'm Stryker of Enyo. I like to be thorough, and if there's a way to cut corners to make the process simpler for me and my audience, then I want to find it and show it to you. So the bottom line, yes, you can skip a surprising amount of the puzzles and mini games in the game. There are certain achievements tied to specific puzzles, so if you skip these, you will not get the related achievement/trophy tied to that puzzle or mini game. This is why I made my own walkthrough that will follow this introduction to the game, where I outline exactly what you can skip without any penalty. If you don't want any story spoilers, although I really don't think it's worth it, then I recommend the text walkthrough on trueachievements.com, because there are times they actually tell you where you can skip something, but only a few times. You can skip stuff, but you need to be smart about it. I will go into more specifics later in my walkthrough, but as a general rule, all character portraits and any lock-picking sequence can be skipped. So here we go. You don't need to know a whole lot about the mechanics of the game or the way things are made. If you've played a Frogwares Sherlock Holmes game, you kind of know what to expect. So, this is my walkthrough, all achievements and trophies. For the most part, you have the tools you need to complete the game. I gave you a rundown of the game mechanics, what to expect in the way of mini-games and puzzles, and how nearly all the achievements can be gotten through standard play, except for one, that lawn bowling thing. As long as you don't use the skip feature at the wrong time, you have the link in the description for the text walkthrough, the exact one I used myself to get everything. And you know what needs to be done and how long it will take you. At this point, I will say goodbye to many of you, but for those that want a little more explanation, I will now go through each achievement/trophy. Seriously, you get tired of saying achievement/trophy after a while, but I had to use both, right? Or else you guys will be like, he didn't say the word trophy. He hates PlayStation 4. Get him! No. Some of you can figure the rest on your own, and I won't go into great detail since the text walkthrough will easily guide you through. But for those that need it, please continue watching so that you can see what achievements/trophies should be coming up in the next case. And you can learn about what puzzles you can or cannot skip without penalty. It goes without saying, you will start seeing some spoilers ahead. I try to avoid story-related spoilers as much as possible, but in a few cases, I've got to comment on the ridiculousness of the story as we get into Case 5. So, just be warned. If you want to experience searching for evidence and drawing your own conclusion, then that's great, but avoid this upcoming walkthrough section of the video. I like to cater to as many gamers as possible, so for those that want to just get in and get out with the smallest amount of time investment, the text walkthrough will do the job, and you can check out this video walkthrough. And so, here is that aforementioned video walkthrough. Big Ben Interactive, probably heard of them before. They've done a few other small things. Frogwares has put out a number of Sherlock Holmes games. A number has been on PC. There's 4 on console, but they've made like 8 or even 9 at this point. So it's almost like a cash cow to them. There are 4 achievements alone that we are looking for in Case 1. So you can see them there. There's 25 total. 2 that you get at the very end of the game for getting all achievements and being special. No, for beating the game, I believe. So the first one is going to be, it's going to come up in the tavern. So after you leave this tavern, this sequence is going to start where you are going to turn into a little boy, and then you are going to follow this man, and the achievement says you can't be seen. Well, you're not going to turn into the little boy. You're still Sherlock Holmes. I mean, you are a boy. Either way. So, it says that you basically can't be seen, but don't worry about that. You actually can. There's a meter that will fill up to, like, red little arrows. You can fill up to 3 of them, and you're okay. If you hit that 4th one, then he'll be alerted, and you'll fail. But then you can retry. So don't worry about that. Yeah, if you peek out for too long, you'll fill up a meter. So there's really no need to peek out because you can see everything in 3rd person. You're going to be switching to a number of different mini games. One is cleaning the chimney as you try to escape the noxious gases, because apparently they set a fire in the chimney as soon as you got inside of it. I recommend that you don't skip any of these. There's going to be a shoe shine mini game that's going to come up. I know the balancing beam thing is really kind of annoying. It's kind of sensitive, and there's not much that you can do. But I mean, you're just going to have to just bear with it. But I have heard on good authority that if you skip the shoe shine part of this series, which is happening right now, then you might actually forfeit the achievement. I mean, I know so for certain. I don't know about the other ones leading up to it. So this is just basically you need to polish someone's boots. If you've ever been in the military or if you've ever learned how to polish boots, then you should be okay here. If not, then you're going to have an instant 3-star warning. And surprisingly enough, I have been in the military, but I didn't notice that little black circle over on the right. I thought that was part of the table. So I actually did everything in order. I used the right brushes, but I basically just cleaned his boot, wiped it with a cloth, and then brushed the crap out of it. So I didn't even put any polish on it. But yeah, you'll have an instant 3-star, but don't worry about it too much. Like I said, just make sure not to skip it. You can fail it, you can fail the shoe shine part, that's fine, or pass it, that's fine too. But yeah, as long as you don't skip that part of it. You might be able to skip the chimney thing, but I cannot concur on that. And then there's going to be your achievement once you get into this cutscene. And yeah, I'm going with the sound effect from Xbox. I like the Xbox achievement sound effect. I mean, I like it better than the PlayStation. I hope you can at least agree with me on that. So there's going to be... Oh yeah, it's Toby's turn. Toby, the dog of the faithful. Yes, we're going to be Toby now for a little bit and sniff out something. Don't worry, this is the only part in the mission that we're going to have to do this. Sorry, the case. I've played a lot of Metal Gear Solid 5, so the word mission is on my tongue. All we need to do is find this cellar. There's not much you can really do. You can't fail it. But as soon as you find it, your little achievement will pop. And yeah, like I said, I like the Xbox sound effect. And I like the fact that it's located in the middle of the screen because I use the upper right corner a lot. which is what PlayStation, you know, their achievement would pop up there. When I do a PlayStation-only game, we'll see. I'll probably switch formats for that. But yeah, this is the game, people. You turn into a dog, you turn into a little boy. I'm surprised you don't turn into a sex slave worker and try to infiltrate there. So you're going to need to come up to the conclusion that you need to go to Epping Forest. So you need to go to your deduction screen, which is what this thing is called, and you need to come to that conclusion. Then you will actually unlock the Epping Forest location on your map, and then you will actually be able to select it. Any day now, they're idiot. Okay. So once you select the location, you're going to be thrown right into the scenario that you see here. Like there's no meeting, there's no nothing. You're literally just running for your life. It's basically a conclusion to the starting cinematic that you got when you entered case number 1. And by the way, no other cases will do that kind of foreshadowing, you know, time skip kind of thing. This is the only one. So yeah, you have a man that's chasing after you. As far as I know, do not skip any of these sequences if you are able to. I think if you die enough times, then it might give you the chance. There's a possibility that you need to make sure that you don't die on the last part, of course, but I can't prove that. I have not heard from anybody else that says you can skip any of these wood-like sequences. All you gotta do is hold down Sherlock Vision and walk across the rocks that are apparently hidden underneath the water and get off to the screen to the left. So that's all you need to do in this section. Make sure you don't run out of life. Make sure you don't run out of stamina. Make sure you don't drown. That's another thing. Yeah, so that's all you gotta do. You just gotta get to the other side of this thing, and once you cross this log, you'll get a small little cutscene, and as soon as you come out of the cutscene, then you will be rewarded with your achievement. There you go, an achievement, and there's a free dead body right there. So inspect it, I guess. And that'll about do it. You found all the clues, or I mean, I did. So now you can, it basically gives you the option to replay the ending. Which you can do by pushing the X button, or let me think, on PlayStation it would probably be square, I think? Crap, I can't remember. It's going to ask you if you really want to replay the conclusion or not. You'll load back into the last cutscene, and then you can do it again. So you can actually see the events play out. You can pick a different guy. You can choose whether you want to absolve them or to put them in prison. And then when you're actually ready, you can hit the A button or whatever, X button, and it will warn you if you're about to finish the case. But once you finish the case, your achievement will pop. Doesn't matter what the outcome or what you picked, or if it was even the wrong guy, you will get your achievement. And then we get thrown right into a study in green. So this is the only missable achievement, is the one that is right here. It happens right at the beginning of the case, so if you're not going to win the tournament, you can always back out or restart it if you absolutely need to. Yes. It is called Lawn Bowls Champion. There's 5 achievements in case number 2. Basically, you got 4 red balls that are going to be yours and 4 brown balls of your opponent. Now you're going to throw out a white ball, and you want to do it at about half power. Then you're going to try to throw your red balls as close as possible to the white ball. So this is very good right here. Like, this would be 3 points as long as all 3 of those balls are closer than your opponent's 1 brown ball. Now you want to kind of point at the white ball using that arrow. I know it'll be a little tricky, but you're going to want to throw these at half power as well. Now, if you end up losing points, or if your opponent makes points, then they get to throw out the white ball. But as long as you're in the lead, you get to throw it out. So try to make that happen, because if you know what the amount of power was when you threw out the white ball, try to match that with your follow-up shots, and you should be pretty dang close. And since this is an AI, then it's going to probably cheat. Like, there's no way. The guy was already 3 points ahead of me. There's no way I was going to be able to not only get 3 more points, but also beat the guy. So you just need to back out, and you'll get put right at the beginning of the tournament again. You don't actually need to restart the case. So at a certain point, you'll kind of get a feel for it. You'll kind of, as long as, especially when you get to start and put out the white ball. But in this case, I was losing by a few, and I figured, you know what, it's not worth it. You know, I wanted to be ahead, and this is pretty good. I think I get a couple of points, and that's good. I got 3, so there we go. You just need to do 3 rounds of this. It might take a little bit of time, but you can keep restarting if you want, and by the time you get the hang of it, it's going to be all over with. So there you go. You got it.
Well, Caitlin?
Oh, yeah, and then any character profiles you can obviously skip. This apparently is your daughter, don't ask. So any character profile you can skip, of course. Oh my god, her lips are so big. And you just need to play around a little bit. Eventually it'll give you the option to skip a character profile. So this is Sherlock. I'm going to go out in my robe. Arr, what be this then? I meant to sound drunk, but for some reason I am a pirate. Arr, this is a good look. Historically accurate pipe and hat.
Take
tastes
a look
good.
for yourself.
So this is, we're gonna need to come back here. Arr, where there be a dead body. I've been looking... Oop, nope, that wasn't it. So where be the dead body? So any character portrait, of course, we can skip. There's absolutely no penalty for doing this. It gives you the correct profile of the guy. I mean, seriously, why not? There's absolutely no penalty for choosing it. Then you're going to get this book-like hieroglyphic made-up thing, whatever. So we're just going to... We're going to skip it. There's no point. At least it asks every time you want to do it. And then there you go. The curse will be at blah, blah, blah. Then there's going to be a photograph thing that you can... you need to what? Nope, skip!
There's another person in the photograph.
Arr, there's a dead body. I sense that it is here. I don't know... Where's the dead body? So then you'll need to do this letter thing, which you need to steam it open and then skip. Seriously, it's not a big deal. You'll get the information from the letter, because, that's a good, stiff, hot drink.
What should we do next, Holmes?
So then you're going to be outside Jimmy John's warehouse, or Timmy Ton's, or Billy Bong's. Oh, Bernard Marley. Okay, so you're going to be outside here, and you need to sneak your way in at night in order to get more information, because that's what constables do back then. They just break into your place, and the enemy has, I mean, the bad guys have no rights. So you just need to get up to the top floor. So it's going to be a series of pulleys and levers, moving things around. Sherlock is eventually going to need to, like, scale up a ladder-like trellis, and he's going to get up there. He's going to jump across some of the rafters. Watson's actually going to be there. I know, surprisingly. Watson's only here for, like, maybe 3 segments throughout the whole game. I don't know. It's pretty close to that, though. But, so yeah, then you're going to need to steady yourself. Now, I wouldn't recommend skipping any of this, because all of this is linked to an achievement in order to get in that office window. It might be possible that the only thing you can't skip is the rope swing in, but, like I said, I couldn't confirm any of that. And this is a little ways into the place. Like, you would have to do quite a lot in order to get back to this point, so I wasn't willing to risk it. Just do the balance beam thing. I know, it sucks. And, you know, do the rope swing thing. There's no reason to try to skip those 2 things. you know, in order to quite possibly miss an achievement. So that's the important part there. Then you need to forge yourself a dagger. Don't ask me why, because apparently people have to create custom keys. Then there's this gearbox puzzle. Now it's pretty simple. All you got to do is skip. Yeah, we're not gonna do that. I be Dr. Sherlock. I mean, Dr. Holmes. You really aren't good at this, are you? No, me be not. Are you talking like a pirate? So this one you can skip, but I just kind of wandered into it. Like, boom, there it is. You finished it. But you could technically skip that. It's not very hard. Now I am Pastor Sherlock, and yes, there are a moment or two you actually need to be a pastor. So here's the pastor chopping down the door. When you get to this point, well, you're going to know what's going on, but you basically just need to get upstairs. Avoid getting hit by arrows. Don't worry if you do get hit, you can always reset this, but it's some pretty funny moments. Man, he takes it to the face like a champ. Oh! I hope my mom's not listening, because if she hears me say something like that, she's going to think I'm watching porn again. So yeah, all you need to do is get up to the stairs and you'll unlock the next achievement. So don't skip anything in the study, if it is possible. Not the gunshots that Watson needs to do, none of that. Don't skip any of that, and you should be okay. Then you're going to need to do the deduction screen in order to find out the truth about the temple. You need to come to this conclusion in order for you to actually be able to travel to the temple. Oh, dear God. This section is essentially Indiana Sherlock. It doesn't make any sense, and if you're a fan of the books, it'll piss you off. This is going to be a series of puzzles. It's 6 puzzles, and you can actually skip the first 5. So, skip. The first one was the, whatever it was, but we skipped that one. But yeah, you can actually skip every one of these except for the very last one. The very last one you have to do. This second one is a lever puzzle. You're probably going to need to interact with it a little bit before you actually get the prompt to skip. So you'll need to move around a platform. There you go. After you move around the first one, it'll give you the option, and then you can skip. Here is puzzle number 3. It's, yes, you're running away from a boulder. Dear God. I know you guys like Indiana Jones, but you can't just steal from it. So I tried to skip this, but I never really got a prompt. I mean, seriously, I got smashed by this boulder repeatedly. I couldn't get myself killed enough times, so eventually I just started to move forward. All you gotta do is move to the side and avoid the boulder. Yes, for some reason, apparently the boulder is like the genome soldiers on Shadow Moses Island. They just patrol. God, this is so stupid. And so then you'll get to puzzle 4, which is a collapsing floor, not a 4. It's a frustrating puzzle. You can try to run past it, but there's a set way around it. As soon as you get the option to skip, I would highly recommend to do so. Anytime now. There you go. Okay, and this is going to be puzzle number 5. It's not a bad one. It's easy to do. It's just a poison maze. You can only walk by the right kind of statue. It's not necessarily hard, but... And you got, I don't know, the ceiling is caving in on you, but in sections, I don't know. It's all pretty dumb, even for Indiana Jones standards, so just skip it when you can. And here we go. This is going to be puzzle number... No, it's not. It's the bridge. The bridge should be able to be skipped, but quite honestly, all you have to do is run across it. Seriously, it will collapse when you touch it, of course, but just run across it, you'll be okay. You should be able to skip it, but this close, and this far into this case, let's not try to even attempt it. Here is puzzle 6. This is the calendar puzzle. You do not skip this one. Did I really just... I put up the solution, but apparently I added the sound effect for an achievement. That wasn't supposed to go there, you stupid, stupid man. Whatever, I'm not going to change it. But yes, you can't skip this one. So, there you go. There's the solution that you need to use. Otherwise, you can use a video walkthrough, whatever it is. You can pause it on screen, but you cannot skip this. Make sure you actually complete it, or else you would literally have to do the entire case all over again. There's no way to back up, and you would, well, you would skip everything to get up to this point. It's really stupid. Essentially, you're not hallucinating, but I mean, you're not physically here. You're inside a model. You're just imagining what it was like for all this stuff to happen. It's really dumb. It's really far-fetched. But I mean, you'll get your achievement once you come out of this cutscene, give or take, and you'll come back to the real world, apparently, as well. So now you just need to make your deduction. So figure out who's guilty. You can condemn them or abstain them, absolve them. Why did I say abstain? You're not going to have sex with them, or he's not going to have sex with you. So just confirm your moral choice, and after you have a cutscene, it will ask you the typical "Are you sure?" kind of thing. You can replay, pick a different guy if you want, but as soon as you hit accept your decision, then you will get the achievement, and then it will be on to the next one. I do want to apologize for my drunken pirate version of Sherlock Holmes. I had a voice in my mind, and it was pretty good. It was in tune with the version of Sherlock from the game, but then I went away and made that hour-long top 20 beginner tips for Metal Gear Solid, and I completely forgot about how Sherlock sounded, so that's why it came off pretty weird. So here we are in case number 3. We're looking for 7 achievements in this one. Quite a few. It's going to take us a couple hours to get through this one. You can obviously skip the profile. Like I said, no reason to do a profile, because it automatically gives you the right answers for everything. Because as you can see, there are 2 things that we could technically screw up on. And all that does is, if I haven't said it before, it lets you bring up a question, or it lets you add an additional piece of when you're interrogating them. So then you'll have a letter thing that you could just skip. And then you'll need to connect the dots. You're solving a little mini puzzle here, essentially, or a mini crime. And you'll get an achievement as soon as you're done. So if you're like me and you obviously don't care, just keep selecting one thing, go to another. Eventually you will come up with an idea of what happened. You can hide the truth. You can tell her the truth. It does not matter. Once you confirm your moral choice, you will get the achievement. And you will look silly in that stupid hat, but I mean, it is what it is. And then somebody will throw a bomb in your place. I dress goofy to start with because the last couple of missions, you don't get a chance to change clothing whatsoever. So, get used to it now. You gotta get your rocks off. So yeah, somebody threw a bomb through your window. This will introduce the mechanic of the fact that you can select something and then change it with the D-pad as well that you want to do. So if you're using the walkthrough, just continue to use it. I literally just kind of cut every single wire I could on the bomb, and then once the time expired, it didn't blow up. So don't feel bad if you've cut all the wires yourself and it doesn't go. I guess you have to wait for the time to eventually just run out. And you'll get your achievement right after this.
Somebody wants to kill me? What for?
I hope you realize that, yeah, I mean, when you record using the DVR, you don't see the actual achievement. And thank God that the guy that threw the bomb through my window not only dropped his jacket, but also left a little notebook inside that gave me clues to stuff. And yeah, the dialogue between the daughter and Sherlock is pretty dumb. This is supposed to be after the death of Moriarty. So it's supposed to be in canon, technically, with all the other adventures that Sherlock has done. And supposedly, you already have killed Moriarty, so this game takes place after basically all the novels and stuff. So you're going to find yourself on a balcony, and then you're going to run into a lockpick, and oh my god, that lockpick is going to be so more advanced in the world that you can't even figure out. Oh, you can just skip it. And then you're going to have this thing. Skip it. Just skip. You don't need it. Don't worry about it. Oh my god. And then you're going to run into the orgy of evidence, because not only is a certain person not who they say they are, but they are essentially, well, they have an orgy of evidence. I mean, you know about that, right?
This is what we call an orgy of evidence. Know how many orgies I had as a homicide cop, Gordon? How many? None.
So you're going to have a little listening in mini game. You don't have to do it. You can skip all three of these if there's more than that. Keep on doing it. Then Sherlock goes gay, and then you're gonna have to touch this guy's butt. No, you need to actually give him a reach around. That's right. So when you reach around, you can actually, no, I'm kidding. You just need to pickpocket him, and yeah, you can skip it. So what the fuck? That's so dumb. But yeah, you can skip it. You grab the wallet, you pull out the card, and then you basically can reach around him back, or I mean, reverse reach around. Is that a thing? I really hope my mom was not outside my door. If she heard me talk about that, I would so get grounded. So then there's going to be this sequence where you need to pick the order of events, and you will get an achievement after this. If you get it wrong, he'll just say, well, that's not how it really happened. So you just pick the sequence that you think, how it happened, and then you will watch the sequence. And then once it is actually correct, then you will actually watch it again. But it'll be done in the style of the new movie. So, you know, I guess it's okay. They literally didn't start doing this, obviously, until the Guy Ritchie movies started to come out with Tony Stark. Tony Stark is Iron Man and Sherlock Holmes. There's actually another movie coming out, too, I believe. I didn't think the second one was that interesting, but nope, they're making another one. So you'll get your achievement as soon as you pop out of that room, and you will immediately get thrown into another balancing act. And you know how much I love these things. Skip. Just skip it. Then you're going to have this crane thing where you need to jump from one chain, and it's kind of fun to really skip. Then you're going to have this action sequence, and I recommend that you do not skip any parts of the action sequence itself. You're going to be nosing around, and apparently you walk through the front door. So you just need to do every move correctly. You'll figure it out, or you can use the text walkthrough. It's just a matter of picking the right motion. There's only like maybe about 6 actions you got to do, and then once the scene ends, then you will get your achievement. So it's pretty arbitrary on what is supposed to be the right choice. But I mean, seriously, as soon as you hit that thing there, you'll end up getting your achievement. It'll go into slow-mo, and you'll be like, finally, I don't got to do that thing again. Then we're going to have another profile, and obviously, because it's a video game, or, you know, even a movie, if someone is supposed to be slightly religious, they need to go overboard on their religion stuff. So you're disguised as a priest, and you actually need to leave and go back to Baker Street, and then come back with your what is it? Your hooligans, your homeless kids, your entourage of homeless kids, orphans. I just couldn't think of the word orphan. So your orphan people will help you. You cannot skip any of these. Do not skip. You just need to basically exorcise the demons out of, what is it, 4 or 5 locations? Like I said, check the walkthrough for it. I mean, basically just interact with anything that lets you. And once you've done enough of them, then the old lady will leave, and then you will go into the boy's room. Finally. So that's why you did all that. And your achievement will pop as soon as you get done with that. Little boy's room. I thought there'd be more porn in here, really. Then you're going to have this torn up piece of paper, and it's really interesting, and you need to skip. Then you're going to have this profile of a mean old man. He's got these markings, and you're like, I wonder what that means. Skip! Then you're going to have this profile of another guy, and then you're going to just skip it. Skip all profiles. Told you that. Every time it comes up, skip all profiles, any lock picking, you don't need to do it. It's really handy when people have these tattoos. Then you got this ledger thing, and it's actually interesting because if you figure it, skip!
Elementary. It's a notebook filled with
And there you go, it's complete. Puzzle solved. Now you're going to have 2 stealth sections. Now, do not skip either one of these. There's going to be one area that's fairly easy to do. This is nothing if you've played any other kind of stealth game. It's a little more involved than a Telltale game, because in Telltale games you really don't have environments like this, per se. But, wow, I actually got to use the word per se. Wow, mark that on my calendar of big words to use. Now, ignore what the achievement says. It says, you know, complete this without being caught. You can get caught. You can, you know, be full red on awareness, or you can escape them. You can get killed repeatedly. You will not lose your achievement. It's just about completing the section. So then once you complete both of these sections, like I said, do not skip either one of them. Skipping one or the other will void the achievement. And you do not want to do that because this is kind of far into the case, which means you would have to redo a pretty large section of this case to get back to this spot. But eventually you will find a way out. You can look at a video walkthrough if you want, or a text description. It's not that involving of an area. It's not that complicated. You'll make a noise, you'll climb up a rafter, you'll go around, you'll climb back down, and then boom. As soon as you touch that door, you basically have finished it. So make sure not to skip anything at that point. And then we just need to figure out what is going on with this case. So just link those clues together. All the pieces of evidence, just keep trying to link them all up. Then you're going to go into deduction mode, of course, and then you're going to come to some kind of conclusion. And that looks good to me. Condemn the man or don't. Once you confirm your moral choice, that will initiate a cutscene. As always, I supposedly picked the right choice. That guy is supposed to be guilty, even though it doesn't really feel that satisfying of a conclusion. But you can always replay if you really want. But like I've been saying this entire walkthrough, once you accept your decision, you get the achievement. So really, you can do whatever you want. And there you go. And yes, you know, you should realize that that's not the actual screen for the achievement, but since I use a game DVR, I don't actually get to see the real achievement pop up. And then we're into case number 4. So, if you've been paying attention, there's only 4 achievements here. Case 1 should be 2.5 hours. Case 2 is over 3 hours. Case 3 took us 2 hours. We're going to be done with this one in an hour and 15 minutes flat. So the first thing you need to do is resuscitate this guy. I don't know if did they know CPR back in the day? I'm not sure. I know you can't do it anymore. But you'll have this little mini game. It's not very long. You basically just need to complete it. And you'll get the achievement for saving the guy's life. Jeez. And seriously, it's really funny when you come out of it, because Watson will say, "This man will make it," and his eyes open up and that's it.
This man will live.
Like that, he doesn't even set up. He doesn't say thank you. This game is retarded. So you just need to save a guy. I mean, you can. Literally, you can let all these people die. This does not involve an achievement whatsoever, but you'll have a timed amount of time. Wow, that's good English there, Stryker. You'll have a timed moment of time in order to save people or not save people. Like I said, it does not matter on the achievement whatsoever. There is no achievement for doing all of this stuff. I mean, seriously. I mean, you'll see a guy, he'll be like, "Oh, he's unconscious. Oh, make sure to skip, skip that if you want." I think it actually does give you the option to do it. and you're like, oh, I cannot open. Oh, I'm gonna need an axe, and it's like, no, just let the man die. Or if you take too long, he will die. Like, what should I do? Oops. Well, Sherlock is a killer now. So you'll have that thing where you can actually use the deep skip. You can actually just skip the guy's leg. And then there was a firefight! Oh, sorry, wrong movie series. And then you're gonna have to figure out and basically interact with these different things. You'll have to interact with a pumpkin, of all things, and figure out how this big, massive accident thing happened. So just pick the correct order sequence for this. There's no achievement necessarily involved with this little thing. Well, yeah, it's kind of contrived. I mean, seriously, an axe flies through the air, really. And then you're going to need to construct this, so just pick the numbers that you see on screen in the order that I'm doing them. You can easily find this solution on the internet somewhere, I'm assuming. I actually did take a screenshot of just this thing, but I mean, seriously, that's the order. So there you go. Just pause your screen, move your cursor around to signify that, yes, Stryker, you can now tell the audience that this is complete. You'll watch the action thing do it, and then you will get an achievement. So do not skip that part. Definitely do not skip that part, or else you might void this achievement here. I just did the thing on the on that watermelon thing. I would just automatically do that just in case. You can you can skip these, and then you need to skip it when you have to brush off that sign or whatever. You can skip that too. We already got our achievement. The next achievement is the water. Then they're gonna introduce an even more complicated piece of crap lock that has even more things to have to worry about. So, in order to really figure out what you need to do with this, it's gonna have to be a thing where you... Oh my god. There we go, skip! I just waiting for that to show up. Then you're gonna go into a room, and then you're going to see a thing that you can basically... skip!
The electrical charge which affected the
and now you're going to pick, what is it? Not a subject. So basically just copy what I did down there. Another lock. You can skip. Then you're going to make your way underground. Okay, so underground, there's this whole series of... God damn it, even a Sherlock Holmes game has a sewer level. So you're going to have this series of stuff. I'm going to put up some quick notes. You basically just have to, you know, get from one side of the place to the other. So it's a little involved. Use your text walkthrough. You're going to be flipping the different water levels and creating bridges for yourself, and you'll have to go across a pipe. I recommend... You can probably skip the first time you go across this pipe. I would just say don't. Don't skip any of the things involving this. You can actually create a bridge after you've gone across the pipe the first time, so you don't need to balance back. It's to your left, dingus. Come on. Come on. Nah, whatever. But, so eventually you will get to the point where you turn this wheel, you will open the one door to your right, and there you go. That's your achievement. You found the little secret area for them. Seriously, an hour and 15 minutes, you will have this done. Oh, it's a cigarette, and it's a specific brand of cigarette. We haven't seen this before. Every Sherlock story basically has a obscure or easy to figure out brand of cigarette. Or someone's got a tattoo, or someone has a tattoo, yeah, like that, a tattoo, and they smoke a particular brand. So you can skip these profiles, as always. Anarchist symbol, of course, you would wear your anarchist symbol when you're doing anarchist stuff. So then you just need to link these together. However you do it, it doesn't matter. Pick your overall idea of who did it. There, it was the butcher. Of course it was. And confirm your moral choice. Doesn't matter what you pick. You can pick whatever you want. Always remember, as soon as you pick, what do you call it? As soon as you pick your, as soon as you accept your decision, that's it. You get your achievement. So, yeah, it's kind of nice and it's freeing. You can pick the wrong thing every time, but it won't matter, because... Where's... there it is. Bloop! You get the achievement. And now we're on to the last case. So here we are, case 5. There are 3 achievements here. I wanted to change my outfit.
Not now.
Really? Really, Holmes? Not now. So yeah, basically, this outfit here, make sure you don't wear it during the game because, well, you're basically forced to use it for the whole last case. You're gonna be basically freaking the F out at this point. You can skip any of that stuff. Yeah, he's hallucinating, I guess. I mean, his heart is beating faster, but I mean, is it supposed to be magic? Is he supposed to be teleported to these different things? Is it all going on in his head? I don't know.
Where is my daughter?
There's the weird woman. Seriously, you're gonna have to look away for spoilers. This is the spoiler zone right here. So yeah, this... Oh my god, this is so stupid. You're gonna probably want to feel like slapping her, so just go ahead and slap her. Oh, remember when before I was saying that the last case was, what, an hour and 15 minutes? You're gonna be done with this in 35 minutes. That's right, 35 effing minutes. You will be done with the game. Oh, skip whenever you get to this thing. Seriously, there's only 2 achievements that's related to this mission. One of them is for completing a puzzle. The other one's for completing the case. And then you'll have 2 more achievements that you will automatically get. But yeah, it's this demonic thing. She... oh my god, this is so stupid. I mean, if they're gonna make Sherlock Holmes games based on people, you know, calling for dead people and getting advice, and oh my god, it's really one of the dumbest things I've ever seen Sherlock. I don't know if the actual real stories of Sherlock dealt with the occult and stuff. You can skip this puzzle. Seriously, it's just meant to show you what door you need to go into. So feel perfectly free, you can skip this one. And thank God. And now you get to, oh my god. So I just need to say it. Apparently Moriarty, even though he's dead, has left a message assuming that the little girl was going to come in here. And surprise, surprise, the little girl that, you know, you took in as your little girl, and apparently she is the daughter of Moriarty. And apparently the game is inferring that she is the devil's daughter, that Moriarty is the devil, even though the guy is dead. But he set up all of this, apparently. Oh my god. So, yeah, you can look at the text. It's pretty dumb, but yeah, apparently he built all of this stuff. Moriarty is essentially the devil, and the daughter that he had has been handed over to you so that she can kill you, I guess? But yeah, it's... Dear God, I hope... who made Sir Arthur Conan Doyle? I hope he doesn't know about this. I mean, he's dead, right? I mean, if he was alive to write the books back in the late 1800s, I'm pretty sure the man should be dead now. So yeah, he would definitely be rolling in his grave. Unless he was cremated, then his ashes would be spinning in his grave. So you're gonna have this puzzle, and do not skip this whatsoever. It's literally the only puzzle you're gonna have left to do. So you'll need to go over to the table, and you'll need to grab the little starfish-like thing, and then you'll need to bring it back. I was gonna put a still of the correct sequence for the puzzle up, but just follow the order that I do it. Hey Stryker, why'd the game footage all of a sudden change to PlayStation 4? Are you cheating again, you big fat lie? Look, I recorded the footage. I obviously have played the game and I got the achievements. But when it came to this puzzle, I had footage that had literally froze for the first 20 seconds of this puzzle. So it wasn't any good. So I checked online. I found someone. Apparently nobody out there is playing the Xbox One version. So this is from Massive Trigger Gaming. His logo is going to show up at the end of his footage. And we're also going to cut back to me completing the puzzle. But yeah, I lost that piece. And they actually had the solution on thegamepressure.com, but their stuff was copyrighted, you know, and I respected the fact that, hey, they said don't use our stuff. So they had all the numbers on their picture, and I didn't want to just copy that. So this happened at like the 11th hour, right before I was going to finish this video. So that's it. That's the pattern right there. There's Massive Trigger. Hey, check him out. I know nothing about him, but he's the one I took it from. Here's my footage. As you can see, we're back on the good old Xbox. And because you can see the little skip button up there. But dear love of God, do not skip this puzzle. It's the last one you're going to have to do. Well, until they make another game, right? But yeah, so that's it. There's your puzzle. Sorry about the confusion. And then there you go. That's literally it. You'll get your achievement, and then now it's off to the riverboat house thing to,
Holmes, she tricked me.
Really? She tricked you? That's the stupidest thing ever. He was supposed to watch her, and apparently, Watson is completely useless in this game. I mean, seriously. You only see him, like, maybe 3 times. So, yeah, Holmes is still freaking out. I don't know why. I mean, you don't treat this... your so-called daughter with any kind of love. You dismiss anything she says. If they would have actually built something like a foundation that made it seem like, you know, this guy actually cares about her, but you haven't seen her at all. Anytime you basically, in one sequence alone, you had like 3 different ways to tell her no. You're a horrible father. So yes, she literally says that she is the daughter of the devil. So there's a specific sequence. It's on screen now. You can see it. You just need to pick it, and you will be okay. I haven't tried to go back and pick some different stuff. There's no multiple endings or anything. There's no achievements related to multiple endings. This stuff is just way over the top. It's way hammy. I really hate occult stuff in the first place because it always seems like a really easy go-to. My gosh. So yeah, you just need to pick the right things to say. You can pause the screen when those things came up. Otherwise, the text walkthrough, it's the exact same thing for that. But essentially, once you get off this boat, you'll be okay.
Really was the devil's daughter.
Over here!
Yeah, and then that line that, oh, she really was the devil's daughter, which you're talking about the lady that was inside the boat that apparently didn't escape and died in the explosion, right? Yeah, the game basically waves away the whole thing that, oh, your daughter really wasn't the devil's daughter, it was the one that tried to set up everything. What? Oh my god. Whatever, frog wearers, I really hope you guys do better next time. I mean, it's not like these games are... You can't ask full price for this kind of shit. I'm sorry. You just can't. So you'll get your achievement for beating the whatchamacallit, then you'll get the last 2 achievements for doing all the stuff that you normally would. And, I mean, that's it. That is the game. I hope you really appreciate it. I had fun doing this. I'm sorry if I might have messed up on a few things. I literally had all the stuff ready to put this Achievement Guidebook together, and then I decided, oh, hey, I got 1,000 subscribers. I need to go do this thing on Metal Gear Solid 5, and that was like 2 weeks of editing, 50 hours of work, 50 hours of playing the game, and all that kind of stuff. But I had this one set, and I had it ready to go. I'm going to be trying to go through a couple other easy games that are on Game Pass, so look out for those in case I do. Like Late Shift, I'm going to be probably doing Late Shift as well, hopefully. So I got it all set. It's a really easy FMV game. No, don't freak out. This isn't an end credit sequence. They're not gonna ask me to join the Avengers Initiative. That's not Tony Stark or anything. I mean, that's just lame. This is just some extra footage I had. But no, this has been my ultimate vision of what Achievement Guidebook. This has been the closest version I've gotten to that, where it's basically, you know, it's not just a video that gives you 100% walkthrough, but I actually tell you about the gameplay, the difficulty, any missable achievements. You know, I basically tell you all that stuff up front, and then I proceed to either go through every achievement on my own, or I give you a video walkthrough, a link to one of them, or a link to a text walkthrough, and, you know, I give you an idea what it's like to get all the achievements. So this has been my closest vision to that so far. So I hope you really enjoyed it. I hope it really helped out making this hour-long section that basically just told you when and when not to skip. I hope that really shaved off a lot of time and a lot of energy you would have taken into this game. It really isn't worth it, so I wanted to give you a quick way to beat it, and I hope I saved you some time. So hey, thank you so much for watching. I've got more stuff. It's coming. But that Metal Gear Solid video was pretty epic, right? So, hey, thank you so much. Got more Achievement Guidebook. I've got more Stryker is on parade. I don't know. But hey, thank you so much for watching. Give me a like if I deserve it. If not, tell me I suck.